Hello, everybody. Hello, Anila.
Hello.
Welcome to the evening tea. This is our first episode. We're going to be doing a podcast every weeknight or so. So you can expect a podcast at least a couple times a week. Hopefully, we get to it every week. Hopefully, we get to it every day of every week. But we'll see exactly how we do. And tonight, our topic is if borders did not exist. And welcome. So,
Hey.
if borders did not exist, what would we do? What would happen? What would the world look like? Would it be better or worse?
I don't know. First of all, war probably wouldn't exist.
Probably not.
That's a good thing.
Maybe fighting between each other might still exist, but that's even debatable.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be the crazy, huge, industrial militaristic war type thing.
Yeah.
That's really country stuff.
Yeah. And I think people would probably have similar opportunities if they can go anywhere without worrying about visas. That's assuming currency is the same everywhere and people are making similar wages.
Right.
Might be able to do a better job
of equity, you mean?
Yeah,
for sure.
I think so.
I think it'll be a lot easier. I guess there's some other things to include in if borders didn't exist. First of all, countries, that's what we mean by borders. But when does this take effect? That's something that should be put into the
so yeah,
idea.
If it is
if it happened right
present
now,
day, yeah,
or if it was if it has been for a long time, So,
if borders didn't exist, there is no reason a piece of property should be more valuable than a person's life. But that's the case today.
People kill over property.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what war is. It's always different countries fighting to protect whatever they're trying to protect, but it's oftentimes because of land dispute. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's so artificial, synthetic.
There's so many countries. I'm from India. India and Pakistan, and China. There's this little piece of land where they're fighting for. I don't really understand why it should belong to a certain country.
Yeah. It's a certain government.
Yeah.
Because all of the people are just rallying behind some artificial entity that is their country or their government or whatever, their group. But especially in a global society, that group is really intangible. People go between each other.
Yeah.
How can we have people killing in the name of their group when they're really on the other side? It's really stupid.
It's this is something I've always said is people are really patriotic or proud of where they're born or whatever, but imagine if you're born somewhere else, you would be
Yeah.
proud of that place.
Yeah.
Wherever you were born. I've seen that a lot in pretty much people from any country.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so if it is cultural stuff, you can always identify which way of doing small things are better and learn from each other. But if it is like based on where you're born, how do you change that?
I think we have a visitor.
I have to pee.
Okay, go to the bathroom. Wrong bathroom.
Why?
Go to your bathroom. Leave it alone.
What tea is that? Red tea?
Yeah, it's hot though.
Try blowing it a bit.
Try blowing it a bit.
But everything, like what people have opportunities, are based on where they're born and who they're born to and who they're born as.
True. I think I see where you're going with it. Like if it was an open world, like there was every place was on an equal playing field, not held down by their country's status economically.
Yeah,
and they would have
people that are born to, true, there is public education in many countries, but the quality is not the same.
Yeah, based on the micro borders, like the counties where your school is and things like that.
Yeah. So there are other options too, not just public education. Even public education, like you have to be in a certain area to go to the. It's like a lot of your life is decided based on where you're born right now.
And then also to put on top of that, it's where your parents were born.
Yeah.
Like it's hard for them to move out for a lot of people, and people don't move down. Where you're born is based on your parents' opportunity. So it's really eventually someone makes it, if you're even in a place where that's possible. Like there's so many places in the world, like half of the world does not have that opportunity to step forward for the next generation based on anything they do.
Yeah, and the example of rags to riches are very few.
Terrible example.
And
terrible example to gloat.
Yeah, and there's like so many factors involved in it. It's not like no one become rag. Like no one goes from like really low status to really high status from nothing. Give me an example. Like
I mean, there might be a couple, but it's not. It's usually there's usually something else.
Like no matter what the example is, I can think of a lot of examples that are given by people usually, but a lot of them are like involving either selling your soul, sometimes, or having like really supportive parents, or like there are so many factors. It's not just but yeah, like totally diverging from topic, so let's get back to the topic. But yeah, if borders didn't exist, it also like people from some countries would need visa to visit many places.
You mean now?
Yeah, and people from some countries can just go with their passport.
Right.
If you can go with a passport, if that's possible, why can't people from everywhere can go with passport.
Yeah,
Like,
it's really
why
weird.
do
It's
you
like,
have to add that extra layer where you have to wait longer time and someone will decide if you can even enter the country even without, it's just like based on stereotypes.
yeah, it's also based on like the country's diplomacy with other countries. You know, like,
yeah.
like I say I'm born, well, me being from the United States, I can pretty much go everywhere. But say I was born somewhere where I can't go everywhere, I literally cannot even visit other places. I can't even see what's out there because my government has not figured out how to,
Yeah.
you know, do that
Yeah.
with other countries. And to top that off, the United States government, literally, the way that they have done that with other countries is just being overbearing militaristic force that, like, you can't say no to the United States in diplomacy because they have the military to back it and their power there.
I don't know, but I mean, North Korea doesn't let Americans visit.
Well, yeah,
there,
but that's a
or
literal
anyone right
like
now.
enemy of the United States. Like they're
Yeah. But,
oh, they also don't let. Who does North Korea let in? Anyone?
I don't think anyone. But back in the day, I don't know right now because probably because of COVID. But back in the day, they used to let Americans take a tour of
really?
the country,
Oh.
which is another weird thing. It's like putting it on display,
Yeah.
like a zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, like, I guess, yeah. But yeah, there would be another thing I can think of is the trade, import export fees and stuff, which adds to a lot of cost of things. But it's the whole like GDP and the whole thing. It's like some people's hard work. So the whole money concept, and money is based on countries, so that's why I'm talking about it here. Like, even though you're doing same work, you earn less money in some countries and you earn more money in some countries.
Yeah.
And how is that justified?
Yeah, exactly. It's like to say rags to riches and then not factor in that you were born in a rich place.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, you know?
Yeah.
Rags in a place where you can get rich versus rags in a place where you cannot get rich for the same hard work. Same thing. You could do the exact same thing. It's just you have the great idea, you have the work ethic, you put in the time.
Yeah, software engineering
you
is
get a
one
little bit of luck, which is
examples. I think pretty much everything can be an example for those. Like, restaurant workers literally make pennies in many countries, and comparatively the cost of living is also really high here.
Yeah, restaurant workers aren't really
yeah
aren't really making it because of the cost of living.
But in some countries it's like similar, but that's a discussion for another day. That how do you decide which work is more valuable?
Oh yeah, that's a good topic actually.
Yeah.
Like how is one job worth more than another job?
I know they say like
especially
it's about efficiency and stuff, but then they're like really handcraft stuff, like people spend years making one thing and they're like super expensive and they make the most money, but like it's also like design is more valuable than actually building out the product, which to me sounds like if you don't have someone to actually build out the product, how does design help it?
Yeah, it's basically it's like I'm gonna invent a term, but slavifying different professions. It's like
Yeah.
the it's like the designer is the boss, and then everyone works for them, making less money, and the boss makes the most. It's like where like corporations, the executives make more money for less work because they say what to do. They're in charge of what they're doing.
Even designers make less money, but I guess it's on people who
It's
have
like a
who
tier.
have the power, I guess, decide who makes how much money. It's weird. Can I have some honey in my tea?
Yeah. Pause. Okay. We're back. I don't remember what we were talking about exactly, but I know we were kind of off track.
Yeah.
We went on to the rags to riches tangent.
Yeah.
But back to borders, I guess there's a lot of things to factor. Like, first of all, the world would be totally different. But I feel like our day to day, except for like the struggle aspect of it, would probably be about the same.
For some.
Yeah. I mean, except for the struggle part, like our mentality, like the way we feel, other than being hungry and like, or like above everyone else, whatever on that scale you are. Other than that, the average person, I feel like, would feel no different.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love it because I can travel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And speaking of, that's actually why we came up with this topic, was to talk about traveling.
Yeah.
We started off on our rant version. We took the opportunity definitely to hit that.
Travel.
Travel would be
perfect. Yeah. I mean, that's
it's
basically
ridiculous how you can't do that now.
Yeah, it's basically like the visa thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
why is this point and this point you need a bunch of paperwork to get there, and then to come back and go through, see a bunch of police, and then some places you can't even cross to that point just because.
Yeah,
it's really completely
like for US, you literally, like, even if everything else is right, you have to do an interview, and the interviewer with like 2 or 3 questions and 5 minutes. The border agent? 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes in it, like before you can get the visa. Decides if you can get the visa or not, without knowing anything about you. And then you have to pay for that 5 minutes of their time and travel to that location because there are very few and far in between.
Yeah. I remember.
And it's like the effort to get that is so high. It's like, why does your I guess skill decide if you can travel or not?
Yeah.
Like
your skill and not just your skill. Yeah, it's your skill.
Yeah, but basically, why does your skill decide if you can live or not?
And it's not even, it's your skill, which is based on, once again, where you're born.
Yeah.
Like, you can't obtain those skills.
Yeah, if a person with similar skills, from
similar potential skills.
Yeah, from US can literally go anywhere in the world. Even person with lower skill than the person who gets rejected for the visa. You can get accepted into a great college, but be rejected by the visa guy, and then you can't really attend the college. What kind of bullshit is that?
I didn't know that. It's weird.
Yeah. It's very rare if you get accepted into a good college that you get rejected for your visa, but you do get rejected for your visa even if the college is I mean, a lot of colleges are better. I don't know how the rankings work. It's like overall opportunity, I guess. I don't know, but the teaching level, the ranking is higher than many Indian colleges.
Oh, you mean
But
U.S. college versus Indian colleges?
So for you, it's a good college, even if it's not a good college here.
Oh, you mean like someone from India coming here?
Yeah, someone
for
from
college,
like some random country. Not random.
somewhere
From
besides here.
Yeah.
Coming here for college.
Someone from a country which has very few good ranked colleges get accepted to a college which is ranked higher than any of the colleges in your country, but you can't go because your visa gets denied for whatever reason. And the language barrier is crazy too. It's like culturally people talk about, oh, you need to make your ancestors like you need to take pride in your ancestors' culture they have created and stuff. Like that's like a statement I hear a lot. You need,
that's why people
like, you
love
need,
your country, and
you need, don't forget your roots and stuff.
And the people honor the people who fought for this country's
yeah, the whole,
here it's their freedom.
Yeah, the whole like don't forget your root thing is ridiculous for me. Like if I'm like so rebellious that if people say that makes me want to like not do it on purpose.
Yeah, I feel like most people are deep down like that, just some people live it more.
Yeah.
But most people want to not do what someone tells them to do.
Yeah, and even like if it's a good thing, you would learn about it and do it just to do it for the sake of keeping up the culture doesn't seem valid to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, there are a lot of arguments against it, but that's what I feel. But I still have like childlike mentality, which people think is bad, but I think it's great.
In what regard, child mentality? Like in rebelling?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like openly rejecting when you're told you must do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and then a lot of
it really doesn't make sense to tell someone that you can figure it out yourself.
A lot of the stuff they say you must do, like literally, are something I don't agree with. And
based on the past, which is invalid to the present.
Yeah. I know, like, I understand the language is something like if you don't do it, it will go extinct. But if it's not being used, why should it exist?
Yeah. There's also that cultural things I think are, I guess, coming back to the borders existing thing, cultural things are the only good thing that has come from countries, but there's also a lot of bad cultural things in every culture. We all have a negative side of our culture.
Like a lot of cultures are sexist.
Yeah, there's, I mean,
pretty much. I feel like there are some matriarchal cultures.
Yeah. I like the what's the word, dynamic in those cultures.
Yeah, but
in terms of,
but it's still like
gender.
why
roles and
should
stuff.
some gender be prioritized
Yeah,
over
yeah, yeah,
another? It's like even it might be less sexist in matriarchal, but it's still
it's just opposite.
Yeah,
It's flipped.
yeah. Why would you do that if you are fighting to be against it?
Yeah. Well, I feel like a lot of those cultures that are matriarchal, I feel like they didn't like decide we're gonna make it better and be the opposite of the patriarch. I feel like that's just that's a natural thing for women to be leaders, and the fact that there's less women-led societies is just kind of weird. But I mean, if there's either one, if there's men-led or women-led, or I feel like either one of those is not better than just a unified leadership. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I that's what you're trying to say too, I think. Yeah, I do think the women-led is a whole other tangent we can talk about another time too. But just to real quick say, the women-led societies, I don't think. I think both, either one, where men are leading or women are leading, there's huge downsides to it. Different
especially
downsides. But
emotionally, they're like totally different beings.
Yeah, and
they don't feel similar emotions, or they don't have similar hormones. They're not built the same. Like any gender is like totally different built. So if there is respect is the key. Like if people respect
whoever it is,
a person
reason.
For a person,
exactly,
and not like, as long as it's not hurting them, there is no reason to say anything or make laws.
That's another kind of different way of thinking of borders, like bounds of humans. So like respect for, I think if there was no like roles in society where like you're supposed to respect this role or this person because they're in this role, I think we could have a much better more respectful and better operating society, because we would naturally, I think, respect people that are doing better things. And
I don't know. I don't agree with it.
Well,
I don't know. It's probably yes, but people also respect money.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I guess there's still those things, like a lot of things would have to smooth out before any could be fully right. But
people don't just respect. Actually, people, I don't know if everyone respects nice people.
No, probably not. Especially if today we decided, okay, we're gonna take off all the roles, all the countries, everything, but leave money, for example, or things. And people would not respect
money and power.
Yeah, they respect money. Money and power go hand in hand. But again, remember going back to money being a country product. Money is only good if there's a backing to it. So if there's a government saying this money's worth this and you use it for this.
Yeah.
So if there's no countries, I guess that brings it to, is there one whole country or is there just freedom?
I feel like even in like a country like America, I feel like a president this is really controversial, but I feel like, what is the president doing for everyday person's life? Like any country, like no matter how small, how big it is, like
I think a lot of people would
it comes
agree
down
with
to
you
like
questioning that.
Yeah.
Because what are they doing? I for one.
yeah, and it all comes to like local like smaller communities, um like having power in one person's hand, no matter how small the group is not great.
Yeah.
I mean, you learn that in school, like when you're doing team stuff.
Yeah. And here we have like the
Yeah.
most powerful country in the world in some regards.
Yeah, if you're not going
ran by
to,
one person.
Yeah, if you're not going to work with other people, and just try to protect yourself.
Yeah, that's another thing. They are
Like
very,
so a lot of powerful people
political.
just protect themselves and their
Mhm.
families a lot more than like, yeah, it's like impossible. I don't know, like, would it be possible if everyone had similar opportunities to be unbiased?
Well, I
Like
guess
bias
that's
is
a
like
good experiment.
existing
It's a
thing,
good,
yeah.
good-
Like
good
it's
thing to
like
try,
it's in your
maybe
brain,
we're
like
not.
you're, I guess you're naturally wired to be biased.
I think from moving forward from now in history to a borderless society and like a moneyless society, everything, I think there would have to be rules. As funny as
Yeah.
it sounds, as anti-free
Yeah, if it
as it sounds,
evolved,
I think you'd need rules
Yeah,
to
if it-
enforce, not enforce, but like guidelines to follow so that it
I
really
mean, it's
is.
not like it doesn't exist. Like Europe as a whole is kind of like borderless.
Yeah.
There's trains going everywhere,
And you can
and they
cross
all
without-
have similar currency,
Yeah.
different laws, but so if that can exist, I'm sure like the whole world can be on single currency
Yeah.
and have policies to help each other.
Yeah, and local policies too
Yeah, local
Yeah.
policies
that are
yeah, I mean,
right for that locality.
exactly. Like instead of fighting, you can probably just move
Yeah.
to the
yeah,
next
yeah,
neighborhood.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it's like if you're not interested in listening to other side, I think it never is going to get better if you're just going to criticize each other just for the sake of criticizing. Like you're not really gaining anything from that criticism. Is the thing. Like it's not helping you as a person or anyone as a person.
Yeah.
Fighting over things.
That reminds me of politics, and that we were talking about politicians and how they protect themselves. Another thing is how they fight. Like they don't have the. I feel like very few, if any, of them have everyone's best interest in them, and it's gotten to such a disastrous level, especially in the U.S., but other countries too, where it's just like they're fighting to be the politician in charge, and they'll say anything if it wins them that seat, which leads them to like being the opposite of the other politician in the other party. So it's just like they're fighting, they're criticizing each other, not benefiting anyone or anything to do with the issue at hand. They're literally saying the opposite so that they can, and then they rally their side.
Yeah.
They rally this point to try to gain votes.
Yeah,
And
I feel like
I feel ridiculous.
I don't know. Like I feel like
in this world, I feel like democracy is not working.
Yeah, that's a problem. Like people.
There's too many assholes.
Yeah.
Who want power for democracy to exist.
That's a problem. Like you have some like very less percentage of people in power, so everyone is not collectively working towards getting to the point where like a lot of systems, everything has pros and cons, and if you don't like continuously rework it, you are going to end up in a disastrous situation. Like so democracy at first seemed like a great idea, but then it needs to be reworked based on
modern day democracy.
Yeah,
there needs to be some changes.
Like probably when many centuries ago, monarchy probably seemed like a great idea for people.
And it might have been at first too.
It might have been good too at first. But why does anyone have to be in power? Like, people
it's ridiculous, right? Like, because if you think of it in a very, very scaled down scenario, it's like one person and one person, really. Like, if you want to say he's the president of who? He's the president of me. What the hell does that mean? Like, I don't want a president. I'm just walking around my house, eating food, going to the store, working with my community to make money for my household. What does that guy have to do with any of it?
Yeah,
you know?
I know.
They have to do with the country of it. Is the only relation.
The
only correlation there.
I know. Like, there are some people who are like naturally leaders, and but it's like the present day leaders doesn't prove to be actual leaders.
And it's not a natural.
They're just like more extroverted and
audacious.
Attention.
A lot of them most of them liars. It's like the popularity thing. It's popularity contest.
It's not who has the best interest or who has the best ideas. It's never that. It's always like who can win, who
can rally the most people to believe him.
So that's like another big thing that really is like sounds so stupid, and coming from people who think they're the smartest is like, why do you have to make your vote go to waste? Like, if I'm not voting for someone I believe in, it's already going to waste. Like the argument against how you shouldn't vote for Bernie because he cannot get a lot of people to vote for him. But I'm already getting it go to waste because I really don't care.
Between those other two.
So why? Why should I not? It's already going to waste because I don't really believe in what that guy can do.
You know what's ridiculous is what we end up voting on is like weighing our options between like, okay, how am I going to use my one vote to vote for my president? And my president is going to either be someone I do not agree with a single thing they say, another person I don't agree with, I don't believe a single thing they're saying is true, or someone I think is more or less good for the situation, but probably won't win. But what it boils down to is like I'm sacrificing on my own values to give my one vote to one partially okay, maybe I kind of agree with this, and wasting so much time on that process.
And
then they probably won't win.
The whole voting situation is like bullshit. It doesn't like they say every vote counts.
It does not.
But it does not. Like president.
Especially when money buys votes. Money buys popularity. The campaign finances buy votes. So it's really like you can try as hard as you can with to get your one vote right, but they're trying as hard as they can to gain as much money to outdo your vote. It really comes down to money. It's like this side has a ton of money, this side has a ton of money. They're fighting for everyone to see that they're telling the truth and that they have the better ideas, and you're one vote. I mean, no wonder it always comes down to almost 50-50. As if everyone really believes it's like 50% of America believes in this person and 50% believes in this. No way.
Yeah.
It's because it's bought by money.
Yeah. I don't know if borders are really going to, not having borders are really going to solve anything. But yeah. But
yeah, I mean, it's another one of those things. Like, it's another one of the things that I think so let's take the perfect world example. In a perfect world where everything is good, everyone's happy, everyone's functioning, everyone's has equal opportunity and equal success, even if they can't make the most of their opportunity, someone will help hold them up, like a perfect world. No border or no countries is one of the things that would probably exist in that world. But like in a world such as this where there's so many problems, no borders is not the solution to everything. No, there's no solution to everything. It's
and
all of that has to come together.
It's really like it's really easy for us, like even in the least opportunity countries, there are different levels. Like
there's rich people in those countries too.
Even in like North Korea, rich people get to travel out of the country. But poor people have to like literally escape and walk and go starving for days to escape. And it's like a big struggle, but rich people get to just get on the plane and go. Rich and powerful.
And I say money doesn't buy happiness, but money buys open borders.
Living, yeah.
Money buys thriving,
Mm-hmm.
not just surviving. Money buys thriving. Money buys your way out of starvation.
Mm-hmm.
Buys education.
Mm-hmm.
Buys
money definitely
luxury. Buys happiness in this world for sure.
Yeah.
It
money
shouldn't.
Definitely.
In reality, money should not buy happiness, but in this world,
But
for
money
sure,
alone doesn't. But money definitely does.
Yeah.
Like if you have few other things, money definitely does buy happiness. Like
yeah. Money buys the ability to be happy.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, and it's
the
always
ticket to happiness, but you still have to go into that venue.
Yeah, it's always the richest person who's preaching this money doesn't buy happiness.
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
That's because money is not shareable. Like if the richest people tell everyone money does buy happiness, get rich, and everyone was rich, they wouldn't have their power.
Yeah, that's a great thought there. Let's stop it at that
topic
thought.
or stop it at that. Okay.
Stop it at that. Yeah.
All right. Well, it was a great talk.
Uh-huh.
We'll do this again tomorrow, or as soon as we can. Hopefully tomorrow. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed the evening tea. We enjoyed it, right?
We enjoyed it.
We enjoyed it. Very good. And we'll see you all next time.
See you. Bye.
Bye.